Alright everyone, welcome back. You're watching the RSL 3 and we have our grand finals finally playing today with VortiX versus Oz. VortiX, he's playing as Zanmato and the score is 1-1 right now. I'm joined by Gosu User whose prediction was for us to win 4-0. Sorry man, your prediction is already wrong, but would you like to give another prediction for the rest of this series?
Yes, now I predict Oz will win 4-1.
Oh wow. That's such a little adjustment, man. Why no faith for VortiX?
I don't know. His ZVP, look, we haven't seen any solid macro games so far. We saw one game where he went like 2-base Overlord drop, and one base where he went Nidus, so...
Fair enough. This third map is going to be played on Abyssal City here. And we have VortiX playing as Zanmato, who's going to be starting at the 3 o'clock, I guess we can say. Maybe a 4 o'clock position as the red Zerg. His opponent, Fnatic's Oz, is going to be starting as the blue Protoss at the 10 o'clock position. This time, he has chosen to go for the pylon down his ramp. It looks like a Forge expand. He hasn't scouted behind it. So most likely, I think a Nexus first, followed by a Forge and then a Scout. Maybe a Scout after the Nexus. Protosses have been mixing it up a lot these days and going for those non-scout builds, which can be a bit of gambling, I guess, but if you really feel that your opponent is not going to do an early on rush, which is gamble as well, then you can gain an edge economically by doing this. What do you feel about this whole meta game with like Protosses not scouting and doing like the in-base pylons or like the no-scout builds?
I mean, it's not that easy to punish unless it's a player that almost always goes for it, because you have to kind of gamble yourself to counter it, so I think it's good.
You think a lot of players don't like to gamble?
Well, the Protoss players obviously do, because Nexus first is so common, but it's not
Excuse
that much
me?
of a gamble. I think if you're gonna gamble, like, it's a good gamble to make, because the only way the opponent can counter it is by gambling.
So you think the only way to fight fire is with fire here? Like you can't punish it some other way than gambling?
Well, I mean, by the time your Overlord scouts it, like, you can't adjust your build to punish it exactly.
Okay.
And the standard Zerg builds are already quick 3-base, which you can't actually be that much greedier than, so...
Yeah, but like, if the Protoss does not scout, he cannot pylon block, he cannot slow you down at all. He cannot block your hatchery at your natural for some time, so then you can just like, if you have very good injects, which all top Zergs do, you can get more ahead than you would usually be at a certain time, I guess. So it's not an entire win for Protoss, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it might be because he wants to go for a 2-base timing. On this map, I see a lot of 2-base timing from Protoss, and usually with 2-base timing, people go Nexus first.
Yeah, because then they can get gates much earlier. Or actually, the Overlord here tried to tank some damage for the Zerglings to run in, but VortiX is going to pull back behind this. He's trying to get this probe really badly here. Oh, this is going to escape with 5 hit points here. Very interesting. He took one of the gases in his main here and one in the expo. And VortiX right now, he sees that one of the gases is missing in the main, but he did see the one at the expo. So he's not going to be fooled by this, but it might leave him wondering why. And that will be something achieved already for us if that happens.
Well, I think it's just a fake. I don't think he expected VortiX to see both that he had one gas in the main and he took the gas at the natural.
Yeah, but now he should know. He should have taken the gas on the left, like at the natural. Because then it would be almost impossible for VortiX to see it. Like, you know, between the main and the natural, like there is a space on the left. I don't think an Overlord can stay there and like stay alive, basically, if you send a Stalker up there.
Yeah, I don't think it can either, so I think the gas on the left would have been a better choice. But.
And we have the third hatch finishing now for VortiX. 5 more drones on the way, 1 more Queen. He's already started creep spreading at his expo. Oz is gonna go for the Stalker and the +1 here. He has a lot of money right now and his supply blocked. He forgot pylon here for some time, so he's going for a lot of gates right now. Oh, at least 3. I think that's what he wanted to do the last game. He knows that his opponent might have been skipping roaches a bit too much, or maybe delay a bit too much his He's Rotron, I'm not sure. So it looks like he's gonna go for 6 gates push on this map, which will mean he's not committing too much, but right now I don't know, he's halted the production and he's chrono boosting only war gates, so actually it feels like he's committing a lot to this. Not sure if this is the right decision. He's gonna throw down 2 pylons near the third base of VortiX here. VortiX, he does not see those pylons, he only sees the 1 stalker and Zealot here. He does not choose to make any more Zerglings or Queen to try to defend this, nor any spine. He feels he has enough right now. He does not know this is coming, I feel. And he's going to send his Overlord in the main here. He's going to spot 1 gate. What does it mean when you see 1 gate like this?
Yeah, this opening is going to be really difficult for him to fight. His gas timings are really good if Protoss isn't doing this, I think.
Oh, and he does see the pylons now and the Stalkers warping. He has a choice to make here. He tries to defend how he sacks his third. What do you think? What would you choose?
Well, if you sack the third, you're behind. But I don't think he can hold this, so I think he has to sack the third. And
would you rather, you prefer losing or being behind?
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. The problem is he has a lot of units in production at the third, and they're just going to die when they pop out, unless he tries to defend it, so...
And it looks like VortiX is going to try to defend this because he has a lot of lavas and units making in his third. He's even pulling a bunch of drones here. Roaches have come out, but there's so many Zealots and Stalkers here. Actually, he just wanted to save those units. He's hesitating a lot. I think he wanted to evacuate here maybe for a second, but now he's going to move back in. He's not making units at his third base right now. Okay, now there we go. He's going to start remaking some, but those Stalkers, they have already done so much damage, and Oz, he's not like overcommitting in the sense that he stood there with his units and watched them die. He keeps on hit and running, attacking those units and then pulling back to his pylon when he has to reinforce, when there is too much for him. He does not micro this 1 Stalker, but I mean, he just has so much right now that he should be able to snipe this hatchery regardless. An Overlord is flying into those units, and that's going to make Oz smile.
I think the problem was VortiX's gas timings. He didn't start his gas until 6:30, and then he took 1 gas at 6:30 and another 2 at like 6:40, which means that he can't afford link speed because he has to get roaches so early. So like throughout this whole defense, he hasn't even started link speed. So the Stalkers are just so hard to kill.
Oh, I see. Not having link speed is obviously really bad. He did, I guess if he had creep as well between his natural and third base, that would have helped a lot for the speed of his units to rejoin the fight. But right now it looks like Oz wants to press through. He's trying to kill as many units as he can. Really nice micro on those Stalkers here. Target firing those roaches all the time basically. And it looked for a second like maybe VortiX was gonna be able to hold, but right now, I mean, Oz is just warping so many units. I would have really liked to see a probe above those 2 pylons so he could warp up there. Because right now he's forced to warp down and then run into where he has to go and fight basically. But GG, he's called by VortiX here, and Oz is gonna pull ahead with 2-1. I'm not sure how exactly. I guess VortiX, if he had his Overlord a little bit more to the left, he would have seen those pylons and then he could have started making units earlier. But do you think it would have been enough? He would have needed at least 2 spines, I think.
Yeah, I think with spines he could have maybe done it. Without spines, I don't think there's any way. Like, a lot of the time, normally, you just want to hold until link speed is done, and then you can kind of kill the Stalkers, and then kind of hold it off. But if you don't have link speed, and you kind of need the spines, I think. Because otherwise the Stalkers just pick off the roaches, and it's so hard to kill them.
Alright guys, we're gonna have a short break, and then we'll be right back with game number 4 of this series. Stay here.